Welcome to Viewfinder TV. Today, we'll listen in on select stories brought to you by our Viewfinder producers, whether it's personal taste in room decor or life after undergrad. These video interviews are sure to shed some light on a variety of topics.
Hello everyone, my name is Linnea Hietala and welcome to Viewfinder TV. In this episode, we will be taking a look at 4 video interviews produced by Grandview students. These interviews highlight unique creative outlets both on and off campus. Our first segment interviews Grandview student Nicholas Vatier, who will be giving us an inside look into his dorm and sharing the stories behind his decor.
My name is Nicholas Vatier. I'm from Santiago, Chile. I came to Grandview because of the good volleyball level that they had. It was like a nice balance that they had with like a sport performance and also education. It was not rather focused on one or the other, it was both good. And of course the scholarship also helped out, so that's why I came here. Actually, one of the first things that I needed to get was the blackout curtains, because I just hate not being able to sleep because there's light. So it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because I tend to like oversleep, or sometimes I don't even know what time of the day it is. I wake up like around on the weekends, like 4, 5 p.m. sometimes. So yeah, that's why I got the blackouts. The pictures is one of the main things, especially that one, which it's like a hate relationship with the medicine stuff, because I have to learn all the bones, the muscle, the tissue, the organs, the insection, and it was a love-hate relationship. Remember all of that. Then here especially, this is a picture of my favorite book, The Name of the Wind. Some stoicism, which I have like tattooed on my arm, like some steps to like approach some problems. Then I don't know, Seneca. It's just like a little bit of something, a little bit of everything at the same time. We have this island in Chile, which is called Isla de Pascua, but you guys call it Easter Island. And it has I think it's one of the 7 wonders, and it would be like this. It's a statue of like old leaders and chief of tribes that they used to have, and it was like a way to remember them and keep going. And they were put facing to the sea, so they would be protecting the island. And I brought it back with me. It's made of volcanic rock, which is one of the main things of the island. That championship sign, it was on my freshman year. That's also from the ring. And one of our roommates is in charge of the banners and everything. And we didn't need it, it was going to the trash. And so we decided to keep it. And like anytime someone gets inside, they sign it, just leaving something behind. And the idea is to try to keep this room for like future generations. And I don't know if you saw, like we had like a big picture of the team of last year. It would be nice to like keep this room and keep it volleyball, and just, I don't know, the ring. Oof. It was a good year. I didn't get to play as much as I did last year because I was still a freshman. But one of our starting middles got injured, Oscar Mañana, and I got to play around like 10 games, and it was just amazing to play with the whole team. I had a lot of pets, but the one that we currently have, because we ended up moving, some of them passed away because we had them when little. This one, it's Hietala. We call it Golda. That would mean like fatty. Like fat, he's just like a little nice chunk of it. She's just adorable. And I miss her sometimes, because in Chile, I used to have like a chair right next to like me in the bed. And she would like go there, sleep with me during like, especially during COVID. The plants, I mean, those 2 were a gift from ex-student, how you say it, graduate student. So those plants were a gift from a graduate student. His name is Joseph Balades. If you're seeing this, thank you very much for the plants. And it was like a nice little detail to just put it on. I don't know, I just like them. It goes with the room. This is the best brand, at least in my opinion, on wine on Chile. It's called Casillero del Diablo. It has like a nice story behind it. If I remember correctly, it's like a long time ago, maybe like around 200 years, 130-ish, I would say. People would get inside of like these wine reserves, trying to like steal the wine because it was really popular. Like a lot of people liked it, and it was in the middle of nowhere and in the night, and people just got inside and steal it. But the owner got fed up with it, so he couldn't afford to like have guards 24/7. So what he would do is dress as a Diablo, que sería, the name is like a devil, you guys call it, and just like walk around during the reserves downstairs, and people get inside, try to steal it, and they will see the devil just walking around with a trident, with the horns and everything. Me, my mom, and my sister is 2 years younger than me. My dad passed away, I would say, 8 years from now. So it has been just us, like living together and stuff, and they have been like really helpful to me. Nothing would be possible without my mom. I wouldn't be able to be here, dedicate myself to volleyball, being able to study abroad. Like she has been like a big support in my life all the way through since I'm little.
Adding a bit of personality to your bedroom can make it feel a lot more like home rather than a temporary stay. It can be hard to feel motivated to be creative if you're struggling with your mental health. In our next interview, Grandview student Kira Ladwig introduces Knox, her ESA that lives on campus.
Hi, I'm Kira Ladwig, and this is Knox. He's my ESA. Knox and I are basically connected at the hip. He's a golden doodle, and he's about 3 years old. He's gotten pretty well known on campus, which is fun to see everyone like get as excited to see him as I do. We all call my roommates his aunties, so he loves them. I got Knox because I have anxiety and depression, and he helps me with both of those things. To get an ESA, he has to be of need. Like you have to go to like a counselor or a therapist, and they have to tell you like, hey, we think an emotional support animal would be really good for you. And then from there, you have to get like a no. And I like went through this company that like gives you everything you need to be an ESA. And then you have to go through the school accessibility office, and you have to fill out like a couple forms saying how they help you, like why you need him, stuff like that. And then they'll give you the okay, and then you have your dog. If you're going through the process, get it done as early as possible. If other people were struggling with like mental health or something, I would definitely recommend an ESA. It's just like a partner or like a companion to do like everyday things with, which is really fun and exciting. It gets you like out of your comfort zone a little bit. So like he gets me like walking around campus, and I can like have interactions with people I wouldn't normally have, or like taking him to the dog park. I am meeting other people with dogs, and it's really fun to like meet new people. So that definitely helps with like getting like gets you talking to more people if you do have like that social anxiety aspect of it. And then having someone to like when you're in like your lows, having a dog to just be there to comfort you and like give you that love that you need is just probably my favorite part about it.
As well as the mental health benefits, having an ESA on campus is a great way to get out of your shell. In our next interview, we'll be talking about fashion. If you're not a fan of spending an arm and a leg on your clothes, then you'll enjoy hearing ways that you can save yourself some money.
Some advice that I would give to people would probably be, you just gotta do it. You just gotta decide to not buy fast fashion anymore and really think about like the time and energy that you put into a clothing item to either repair it, tailor it, mend it, whatever it is. It really adds a sort of personal touch and value to the work, as well as like individualized, because there's never going to be another piece of clothing that looks exactly like the thing you have made or the thing that you have mended. My advice is just do it. How I got started making sustainable clothing genuinely started because I don't have a lot of money. And a lot of times the fashion that you see in stores is made with inexpensive materials, made pretty badly, does not stand the test of time, and it's just hella expensive for no good reason with all those other factors in mind. So I started thrifting, I started finding those things. I also do a lot of mending. That's what most of my clothing ends up being, or that's what happens to most of my clothing is I get it, I wear it until something breaks, I mend it, I continue to mend it as things deteriorate. So my costume making process with like found and thrifted materials, I don't like buying new things. I tend to try to not buy new materials if I'm able to. I tend to go on Facebook Marketplace to get like embroidery threads or sewing threads, fabrics, elastics. When I'm making bigger costumes that need like foam and stuff like that, I also try to thrift or find as much of that as I can. I don't like paying store prices because everything is kind of outrageous, and I'd rather hunt and gather versus just buying something out of the store. For the common man to be able to do sustainable fashion, making their own clothes, that sort of thing, really it's a time suck. Like, it does not take a lot of skill, I don't think, says me who makes things, but it really doesn't take all that much skill to be able to mend your items. It just takes a lot of time, especially if you're doing more like visible mending and things of that nature. Like, this took me a couple hours, but it's just like one little tiny portion of a sleeve. But it's not hard, I would say. I'm most proud of my Ren Fair costume so far because I truly started from scratch with that one. I don't have a lot of patterning skills in the sense of form fitting myself or anybody else. With these tie pants, it's just sort of 4 pieces of panel, you put them on, they can fit anybody. But with my Ren Fair costume, it's actually a bust binding corset, so it needed to fit my measurements exactly or it would not have worked at all. One good way for people to, also become more sustainable in their fashion is just not buying fast fashion. If we continually buy fast fashion, they're going to make more fast fashion, and it's just like a perpetual cycle that's never going to end. One thing that I think people could do is really hammer in on mending their own clothes. We are really, as like a society and as a fashion industry, throw away a lot of things that can be easily fixed. Like, you get a little hole in it, oh, it goes in the trash and you buy a new one. Oh, the sleeve has a stain on it, in the trash. We really need to get better about not throwing away as much as we do. And I think that would actually really help in the way of sustainable fashion.
Finding sustainable solutions requires a little or a lot of creativity. But maybe you're looking for a creative academic challenge that goes beyond a bachelor's degree. In our next interview, Coach Raphael Sebra talks about his experience as a graduate student.
After undergrad has been a little harder, especially because my first year of grad school, COVID hit, and that I feel like took a turn on all academics around the world. And we've seen different ways of teach. We're going more online and different areas of approach after COVID. And going through it in a master's was a little challenging, time consuming, just a little bit harder to understand where things were going and how we keep moving forward, because at the time we didn't know where things were going. So seeing it through now, after we've gone through most part of it, looking back, it's definitely time consuming and a little bit stressful on how much you have to accomplish while not being necessarily in class the whole time, different from college where you're oftentimes leaving or staying around campus, going to classes, and those things are easier. When you have to commute to your work and come back and have other things in your mind, rent, car, gas, and everything else. So those things ended up taking a little bit of your focus. So when you try to pursue a master's degree, you really got to be heads-on focus and being very mindful of what are you pursuing. There's good and tough times during like time management, depending on what you got on your workload, on your daily activities. So classes are manageable once a week on Tuesdays or on Monday nights. So those classes go from 5:30 to 10 p.m. Longer classes, at the end of the day, they kind of get to you, but the workload of those classes are oftentimes on the back end of it, with writing papers, reading articles, doing some research, and all of those things. So it's a lot of time management, how you go about it, how you plan your week and your days, with how you compare to your other works and what you got going on in the week. But at the end of the day, it's manageable. It's not time consuming. You're able to space it out and plan it ahead, and you have plenty of notice when things are due and what you got going on forward, so you can kind of plan it ahead. No, it was more like a personal intention to stay connected to volleyball and sports in general. So I decided no longer to play volleyball and go in professional. I decided I wanted to continue coaching, and coaching by itself was interesting, but adding a sport management master's on top of everything else would be fantastic. That way I could pursue more opportunities out there in the sports world. That communication skill, not independent of what grad school you're pursuing, there will be some time commitment, and that needs a communication with professors, communication with work, and that will to pursue that extra degree. With some people just would choose to go for 4 years in undergrad and move on and get a job and call it and keep going. Whether if you're pursuing a master's degree, sometimes you're wiggling that with the job if you're not straight out of college, straight into it. So balancing those things out, communication is really important. It goes towards your professors, towards your work, and that goes a lot into scheduling and management as well. The major goal is for us to go through this program and leave with the feeling that we're prepared, and even more since undergrad. At the end of it, going into the outside world and feeling that the last 2 years we put into work, we've learned more and we've developed, and part of a master's is also to participate more. So you get to embrace in more hands-on projects. What it would look like. So on my end, for example, in the sports management world, you get to create a sporting event. You get to design a sponsorship. You get to talk about marketing, corporations, and things that you can put into perspective, put on a paper, design, and see that project actually leave that first thought, that brainstorming idea. You actually get to pursue a little bit further, seeing what it would look like, and that is as close as we can get to the outcome.
For your time,
Yeah, thank you guys, appreciate it, yeah.
Grad school is not without its challenges. It takes creativity, drive, and passion to better yourself. Thank you to Viewfinder producers for creating and sharing these video interviews. We hope you enjoyed these interview highlights, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Linnea Hietala, and this has been Viewfinder TV.